Hello and welcome back to Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. And yes, I am unfortunately wearing the red shirt and the red tie again because we have had more negative movements and a continued harsh market. And so the markets were continuing to be red today. And one of our plays hurt us very much. That's right. That little guy right there, Big Bear AI, ticker symbol BBAI, was down significantly today. The stock was down 11%. About 11.98%, so about 12% during the normal trading hours. And then with the earnings call coming out, earnings were not positive, and we saw an even bigger dip in the after hours. And so right now, Big Bear is down 28% combined between the normal trading hours and the normal after hours. And what is unfortunate for the Big Bear is at the end of the trading day, we saw Big Bear right around 420, which put us right at the bottom of the support level that we've been seeing on this most recent trend with Big Bear. So with the recent dip that we have seen, it looked like Big Bear could go to right around $4.50. And if we stayed there and bounced up, we would continue on this trend. But now Big Bear has broken past that trend. So Big Bear now is down. It was already down during the normal trading hours to 420. But then, like I say, we have been chopped even worse during the after hours. And this comes off some pretty bad earnings for Big Bear AI. And so today I'm going to do my technical and fundamental analysis of Big Bear AI and also talk about the news that sent this stock down. But before I do that, I want to say, as always, that this is not financial advice, and I always recommend doing your own due diligence before making any financial decisions. And I also want to remind investors that right now we have been going through a particularly rough time through the markets. February and March have been pretty rough months. And so the markets on a macroeconomic trend have been going down. And so bad news has been affecting stocks and plays even more. We go through these cycles in the market, and these times can be rough. But if you are patient and if you do have a long-term conviction, now is a good time to invest into great stocks and plays that you believe in. And myself, I do believe in Big Bear for the long term. So despite us taking a big dip today, I think that this is just a buying opportunity in Big Bear. As I've been saying, I think that anything under $10 is a buy for the Big Bear. And so I'm very bullish on this play for the long term. When we look at the technical analysis for the overall trend on Big Bear AI, let me pull myself out of the screen here. We could see that we are at this major support level right here. What is scary, I must admit, about where we're at right now is if we look at all the other time periods in Big Bear, we could see that there were some pretty big pumps towards the upside, and then the stock did push back down. And so with Big Bear, the fear that some investors may be having is that Big Bear will return right to this same level right here. When we draw out this major support, we see that Big Bear was in this channel for quite a while. So it was there all of 2023 and then most of 2024 until we broke that trend and then started to see a lot of hype and momentum in the Big Bear. And so it is possible that we could return to these levels, but I still think that Big Bear is growing. And I think with the recent news and events that we had, all of that is a positive that still is in the intrinsic value behind Big Bear AI. And so the market is always looking forward and pricing in future events and earnings. And so Big Bear is pricing that into the future. I don't think Big Bear is going to return to this low support level, but I do want to warn investors that it may possibly return to that level. Either way, again, I am very bullish on the Big Bear. I think that it being under $4 is a blessing, especially because we saw how investors reacted to Big Bear off of some of their big news. And so now talking about their earnings and what came out, what was the big announcement? What spooked investors so much? So let's go down this article. Let's first talk about the positives here. So for quarter four of 2023 to quarter four of 2024, they did see a $6.2 million increase. So they did have an 8% year over year increase when it comes to revenue. So that right there is a positive. Then we have this right here, which I think is the most positive bit of information for the quarter four earnings. And that is all about their cash balance and them bringing down their net debt. And so we see that they brought their net debt all the way down from 150 million to 27 million. And that is pretty huge. If you're not sure what net debt is calculated as the total debt minus cash. So at the end of quarter four of 2024, Big Bear had a 150 million in net debt. And then after the cash was raised from the warrants and the debt conversions, their net debt has decreased by 227 million for the end of the year, which is absolutely massive. And so overall, Big Bear has really reduced its debt and has improved their cash position. So the company's debt burden has been greatly reduced, which is a positive sign for its overall long-term financial health. And also, their revenue did look better for this year. So it was up 8% year over year. But this didn't make Wall Street happy, as even though they hit 43.8 million in revenue, which again was better than the year before, up 8%. So they were up about 2.6 million. This did not meet Wall Street's expectations. They wanted to see 10 million more. They wanted to see 53 million. And then they had an estimate of negative 6 cents per share. And Big Bear greatly missed that. So this is actually what brought Big Bear down the most today. And that was that they really missed the earnings expectations. So they were down by 43 cents. And if you're not sure with what earnings per share represents, that is just where a company is sitting where it comes to their net income. And so if they have a negative earnings per share, that shows that the company is losing money. They are spending more money than they are making, right? And so right now, BigBearAI financially is at a loss. They're spending more money than they're making, so their earnings per share is in the negative. But this is just on par with what we have seen with Big Bear in the past. So this is nothing new to me. I expected Big Bear to possibly have a negative earnings, not necessarily this negative to be all the way down low here. But again, when we look at the history, this is expected. And I do think that this is a positive as well, as a big reason why that earnings per share did come in negative today is, again, they are looking towards the future and they did pay down their debt. And so with what Kevin said today, he said that 2024 was a pivotal year for the business. They demonstrated momentum through major contract wins, expanding their backlog, growing their pipeline, maturing their technology portfolio. And then this is what gets me most bullish on Big Bear and their future. He says, and restructuring their debt to strengthen their financial position for the long term. I think that is super positive for Big Bear. Anytime you are making big innovations, which Big Bear is with all their technology, anytime you're growing in that sense, again, you have to spend money to make money. Big Bear has been in a hole with some of their debt, but they are working to climb out of that debt. And so Big Bear, they are gaining big government contracts. They are being seen at the airports. And overall, in a real world sense, this company is growing. They have their new CEO, which puts them in a more favorable position over the next 4 years as well, with Trump as our president. And so this movement today with Big Bear was pretty negative. I wasn't happy with it. But again, it's just them not meeting Wall Street's expectations. I see their revenue growing. I think from 156 million to 160 or 180 is a decent jump. Even if it's slow growth, it is still growth. And this is all just with what they already have. Just imagine if Big Bear gets another big contract with the Department of Defense, another sector of the government, or just more private vendors. BigBearAI has some pretty innovative technology, and I do see just a overall growth for them for the future. But I would love to hear what everyone else has to say about BigBearAI in the comments section below. I know many of us may be feeling hurt right now, but if you did buy higher on the price for Big Bear, say you bought at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just take this as a blessing and think of it as a way to dollar cost average down. And so if you've bought high on the Big Bear, stay long term, don't freak out. Buy lower, bring your overall average cost down. So yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please drop a comment, please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much, and see you in the next video.